I'm just going to draw for a little while on a Tuesday. Welcome to Mindful Drawing. I'm Rooks' Fun, and I'll be your guide on these meditations through the act of drawing. This week, we're entering into Thanksgiving. It's the week where we kind of come to a head with a lot of projects that are wrapping up for the year. Things need to get on the table and start to get done. Everyone's finding a little more stress, trying to make the time to see friends and family, to engage in the act of Thanksgiving. And hopefully we can take a few moments, just a few minutes in the morning or the evening, to engage in our creative side, find a mindful practice that helps us reflect on the season, find gratitude in what we have and what we're about to engage in, and just bring a little relaxation to who we are and what we're doing. This meditation will be all about pie, the pie that defines a circle and that adorns our table and that we're all waiting for around this season, at least here in the United States. So I hope you can join in and discover your favorite dishes here on the page. To get started, all you'll need is a piece of paper, a sketchbook, some pen or pencil, anything you'd like to draw with, and we'll explore the creative process together. So gather your supplies, establish your space, and let's draw together. Some ideas from the holidays. I asked my wife, what should I draw? And she said pie. So we'll take that abstractly and see how it goes. But use that as a chance. Find some Thanksgiving this week and have a little special time. So pies come in circles. We'll begin with circles. I think I'll skip kind of a warm up and just go into it with the blank open territory as we get ready for the exercise. Just taking a moment to breathe in and let it out as a heavy release, and then roll the shoulders a little bit forwards and back a couple of times just to set into the space. Perhaps take a moment to bring to mind something of gratitude or thankfulness. Anything there may or may not influence the drawing, but just taking that 30 seconds to a minute to focus on something that you're grateful for. And as we settle into a space of gratitude and focusing on it, we can begin just practicing that in our thankfulness for having pen or pencil and paper, as they are something made from organization of society and tools. And anywhere on that blank paper it feels comfortable, start by making a circle, big or small, up to you, smooth or wobbly, something that just goes around and comes back to itself. We'll make a few of these, each one starting on the edge of its previous iteration, and beginning again just as we get in touch with our hands and our eyes moving on the page. There's probably a lot of jitter, a lot of distortion or wobble. That's okay. Just keep growing out, kind of filling the page with similar or various sized circles. As you draw them, bring attention to the hand. Is it sliding along the paper? Or can you lift it slightly so it just floats a bit in the air, even if that makes the circles a little harder to draw? Bringing that awareness and focus to the action and technique of drawing. The only thing that'll happen if your hand is on the paper is smudging. So you can also bring that attention to the sensation of the texture of the paper and whatever else your hand may pass over as you draw. No need to always engage in the complexity of technique. And just let the expression out. And we're beginning to fill our canvas, perhaps densely packed or wide open, whichever is emerging there. Take the next few circles to bring a little attention to the breath, go a little bit slower, establishing some space, taking a breath in, finding your next location, and gradually letting the breath out as you move around the circle. It may end part way. Just take a natural breath in and out again as you bring it around to completion. A moment to establish a couple of breaths. Then take a deep breath in, find that position, and track the breath around the circle. Again, if it runs out before completion, that's totally fine. Just keep attention on it, tracking its speed of exhalation and inhalation. But use it again to find place, the breath in to establish your strong foundation. And then sink into the awareness of that space you've established. Maybe one or two more. We have some space. Just fill in a few small ones. Breath in and around. And as we have a bit of a field, and bubbles or circles taking place there, we can bring that meditation to pi, the way that a circle is divided, measured, its radius and circumference defined by this irrational number, or the pi you might have at Thanksgiving, whichever you prefer to bring into your attention. I'm going to begin by dividing circles based on where they touch or come close to a neighbor. Drawing in towards the center, roughly. Taking a breath. Finding a new neighbor and drawing in towards the center. Bringing division to that circular shape. Subdividing the boundaries. Taking a breath and finding another. Again, some may be touching, some may just be close in proximity. Use your eye to guide where you begin to draw in towards the center. A very careful and deliberate kind of cut into the space. And perhaps you draw or cut your pie more from the center out. That works too. Just finding a point, establishing the location with the breath, and tracking it along towards another point. Perhaps precise, clean slices. And maybe it's a little more wobbly and indirect. We get the chance to take that moment to really pay attention to how we draw that line or cut that circle. Each breath transforming one shape into new multiple shapes. piece part of the whole. Breath in, incomplete without the exhalation. Our breath dividing time into a rhythm of our body, increased with activity or focus, increased with anticipation or anxiety, and we can bring calmness, a bit of quiet to it. Breathing in and establishing a comfortable rhythm. And if you find some circles with no direct neighbors, feel free to cut the piece from that pie that you would choose for yourself. Maybe just a taste, because there's so many. And these divisions from edge to edge, tangent to tangent, begin to track new connections through the field, using that rhythm of relaxing breath to build a network, to build visual coherence and technique from our engagement in action on the page. And if you've worked your way through all of your circles into divisions to their neighbors, you can feel free to add more circles, add more divisions, or begin to make graphical distinction, which part is the whole and which part is the divided. Perhaps some have been successful sharings with only small pieces left in the circle, others just beginnings. The whole pan or platter left for exploring. And you might, if you have a pencil or depending on what you're drawing with handy, switch to something that can shade more quickly if you feel rushed in the drawing of lines, or if you're using pen, enter into the shading through sequences of line. It's just another practice. Either one you choose, pen or pencil, marker, moving, mechanical, or with kind of sporadic grace and coloring, bringing that attention to it. I have more circles to explore, but I think I'll come back to them and just spend a few minutes in defining the in and the out of this divided circle. Taking a breath to prepare myself for sequence with the pen, and beginning to create that hatch or striation of line that brings just a little tone or graphic difference to the page. It can be dense or loose. It may have a lot of consistency in its repetition or wobble all over the place. As you notice the natural tendency, it's easy in something repetitive to get ahead of ourselves, to rush it through to completion in these large territories of adding tone, or a chance to slow that down. Not to be concerned with the precision of the outcome, but to be concerned with each individual line of action. It doesn't have to be slow, but it should be in your mind, in your awareness, how you're aligning the pen, tracking it along space, picking it up and returning towards a similar beginning, to repeat the action, similar, slightly changed. Each breath, each cycle, a reset, a pause with a space for calibration. A chance to try again and to make adjustments, to play and explore. A practice in repetition. And for me, each circle, quick glance, and wherever my eye says, maybe draw here. Take the suggestion and follow it through. From the many, there's a chance to discover the unexpected, perhaps go in directions outside of our training or compositional awareness, and just let the being in the moment of the action, the repetition of line, technique, guide the expression to surrender for a few moments into that space of rhythm. And we have a large territory, so if any time you're getting fatigued or tired or hand cramped from a series of shadings or lines, feel free to jump into new circles, new slices cut from these radians, new recenterings on the larger scale of the breath. And in any of the places where you've begun to distinguish positive from negative, figure from ground, light and the dark, you can also explore there if you would like to look for layers of detail, or layers of abstraction, depending on how you read the drawing. Perhaps there's a little edge to the outside, bringing difference or hierarchy. Perhaps there's a pattern hidden on each one. Revealed the craft of making present in all things that we do. Hands, tools, guide the creation of things. Our eyes witness, observe, and match the patterns around us. Recognize memory, feed it into our hands, guide the expression. Spending the next 5 minutes or so just having some time to play within the space of the drawing now created. What do you begin to see? What connects the shapes? And have a little fun exploring in your space. What is it we find in that space of exploring? An idea, an unexpected journey. Anything could pass by the mind as its attention sits in the space created here in the drawing. Do we bring that discovery, that visual place of occupation, in the case of drawing, into our practice, into our own technique of connecting with action, connecting with our breath, observing and following an idea. But use the space of the page to allow those ideas to come and go in and out of focus. We can explore them for their potential. And then let them fade into our breath. A thing we can do on a page, a piece of paper at any time. We can take out a pen or pencil, calibrate to our breathing with simple shapes and lines. Perhaps set an idea in the beginning of our movement, or just allow for the openness to take place. Only guiding with the shape and an action to that shape. Drawing a circle, dividing it with lines, potentially becoming something new. And a little trust that we will find anything, and a little attention to our process and our breath, and our centering, stabilizing, giving us territory to play, to discover, to find a little space of relaxation, and maybe return as you continue to draw, or if you'd like to take some time of pause towards the end and return back to that feeling or sensation of gratitude that we began with, to think or open up after the action of drawing and bringing our attention inward for a while, reflecting out on anything or many things that may bring us a space of gratitude during this season, but any day. Practice of calming the mind, of finding a moment, a chance for those feelings, thankfulness to come forward, opening up the mind and body to listen, and filling it with that reflection, meditation. To find a little gratitude in the people we might see or spend time with, in the time we may have in what we do every day, or as a break from it, depending on the time of year. Gratitude and the time to spend crafting something, whether here in the drawing or in the idea of pie, whatever that might become. And just gratitude in a little time, once a week, or hopefully a little time each day to spend with attention on ourselves and something creative, something that can open us up and relax us as well. A couple breaths as you return to your space, or feel free to continue drawing whenever you want. And hope everyone has a great holiday, safe and fun and thankful. Let me know in the comments below what kinds of pie you spot there in the drawing, or which ones you focused on in your own drawings. If you like the practice, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, maybe do it together with some family as you're visiting at time of year, just to open up some space for gratitude and Thanksgiving. I'm Rooks is Fun. Thank you for joining, and I hope you all have a wonderful holiday. We'll be back next week with more mindful drawing. So whatever you're doing this season, draw well. Thank you.